Stephanie Shiflett have seen a lot in the 30 years they've lived on Laney Road. They've watched a number of funeral processions go by and seen their fair share of this.
And there's more and more and more trash. It's like an open garbage pit when you come in.
For now, Laney Road is the only access point to Jacksonville's National Cemetery. Shiflett says that's the problem. When people come to bury their loved ones, they can't help but notice the litter.
It really sickens me to know people that have fought and died for this country and their loved ones have to travel just 5 miles from Lemon Turner down to the cemetery and look at all this trash.
Action News did some digging to find out who's responsible for the roadway and picking up the trash. According to a spokesperson for the city of Jacksonville, it turns out they're in charge of maintaining Laney Road. Here's what else we learned. Normally, there's 5 litter pickups per year. Of those 5, only 1 trash removal takes place during the winter months. Records we found show October was the last time anything was done.
Here in the last couple of years, this trash bed has gotten worse.
Shiflett says the veterans deserve more attention and a better homecoming.
The cemetery itself is beautiful, and it's getting more and more beautiful, but we should have it all the way down. Laney Road should be, complimentary to the cemetery.
The crew judging the city's marina came to work a little early this morning. They now face quite a setback. 2 holes leaking water on the barge busted wide open, and a portion of the platform is underwater.
Which sank the barge, then go down like the Titanic.
Which is lucky for Jim Piggott. He's overseeing the dredging project for the city of St. Augustine. Expensive equipment was threatened. The machine used to scoop up the silt, this backhoe, now hovers over water. The bucket that typically holds silt is now wedged in it. All the mud collected yesterday was dumped back into the marina's waters.
But luckily where they had placed the barge the night before was in a depth of water where if it went down 6 feet, which is what the tide is, it would only go down so far and not really cause too much of a issue of the backhoe going in.
Today, crews are playing catch-up. Divers spotted the holes and continue to pump the water out. Is this accident going to put you guys back on getting this project complete? Is it going to cost you more money to complete it?
It's not going to cost us more money.
The taxpayers are off the hook for this repair. Piggott tells Action News the contractor, First Coast Premier Contractor, will pick up the tab. We spoke with the company's dredge master.
Obviously, it's a big disappointment. We were tracking pretty good on this project, getting the marina taken care of for them, and big surprise we come in this morning, we're underwater.
We're busy, and I like being busy.
For Robert Tarkington, wearing this uniform isn't just a job, it's his calling.
Once you get it in your blood, you can't get rid of it.
And after serving for 3 decades at Station 18, he will be hanging up his fire helmet and jacket for the last time.
It's part of who I am. My wife says I'm going to get bored.
For 30 years, Robert and his team have been running in when everyone else is rushing out. And he was even named Firefighter of the Year twice.
The one that really kind of affected me the most was a small girl had got hit with a stray bullet from 2 guys were chasing each other. And so we went to her and took her to the hospital, and then we got called back around there, and her sister had been hit also.
It's a dangerous job that even took his brother's life in 2008. Neil Tarkington died of a heart attack after he helped put out a house fire.
I was on duty here when I got the call, and it was a sad experience. It really was. It tore me up.
Robert looks forward to spending more time with his wife, 4 children, and 4 grandchildren. But he will never forget his brothers here, who have risked it all for him time and time again.
I can't do it by myself. I've got some good guys that I work with. It's a team effort.
After the smoke clears, that is what he says he will miss most about his job. Reporting from the Northside D-Registry, CBS 47 Action News.
This trail of flags in Keystone Heights is just one of many trails blazed by a local military mom who's made it her mission to memorialize a local fallen soldier.
You need cards on charter?
Restaurant owner Becky Wellborn never met Sergeant Dick A. Lee, but she says she feels connected to the hometown hero as a military mom. Her son is serving in the Ghazni province of Afghanistan, the same spot Lee was killed by an improvised explosive device last week.
Before they even released the name, it, was real upsetting to me. Could have been my son.
When she found out it was Sergeant Lee, her son's classmate, Wellborn was overcome with emotion. She had to take action and enlisted a team of local veterans organizations to raise money for a range of memorials.
I would want somebody to do that if it was my son or if it was my daughter.
From flags flying downtown and outside Keystone Heights High to a memorial scholarship in Lee's name for students graduating with an interest in government service.
That's my long-term goal. And if I could do it by this year for graduation, that's what I want to do.
Sounds ambitious, but with the following she's created, it's possible.
And she said, I'd like for you to come on board, and I said, sounds good to me, that's what we're here for.
We will try and serve them the best way we possibly know how.
And Becky said she will be meeting with Sergeant David Lee's mother later on this evening to try and figure out what else she and the rest of the community can do to memorialize her son. In Keystone Heights, Noelle McLaren, CBS 47 Action News.
If you've stepped outside in the last 24 hours, you've probably noticed this.
Oh, it's annoying for sure.
Hazy plumes of smoke are billowing in thanks to wildfires in neighboring counties. The unhealthy air forced the Duval County Health Department to issue a smoke advisory. The smoke is a respiratory irritant that can leave you with a scratchy throat, irritated eyes, and nose.
I've seen people come into work, you got a cough, a little bit red eyes, a lot of comments about it. It's certainly going very keenly noticed.
The City of Jacksonville's Neighborhoods Department also issued an air quality advisory. What does that mean? Child and the elderly should stay inside whenever possible. If exercising outdoors, go for a walk instead of a jog. And plan activities for times when the smoke and haze isn't as thick.
It's making it hard to get outdoors, hard to go for a run. You worry about doing more damage than good getting exercise in weather like this.
Also, when you're on the road and it's smoky, slow down and use your low beam headlights. If you've stepped outside in the last 24 hours, you've probably noticed this.
Oh, it's annoying for sure.
Hazy plumes of smoke are billowing in thanks to wildfires in neighboring counties. The unhealthy air forced the Duval County Health Department to issue a smoke advisory. The smoke is a respiratory irritant that can leave you with a scratchy throat, irritated eyes, and nose.
I've seen people come into work, you got a cough, a little bit red eyes, a lot of comments about it. It's certainly going very keenly noticed.
The City of Jacksonville's Neighborhoods Department also issued an air quality advisory. What does that mean? Child and the elderly should stay inside whenever possible. If exercising outdoors, go for a walk instead of a jog. And plan activities for times when the smoke and haze isn't as thick.
It's making it hard to get outdoors, hard to go for a run. You worry about doing more damage than good getting exercise in weather like this.
Also, when you're on the road and it's smoky, slow down and use your low beam headlights. Cheers and tears greeted these troops Tuesday as they made their way back to Jacksonville.
Good to see you.
As the 125th Security Forces Squadron approached the food court, they were in for a treat. Mayor Alvin Brown was there along with several Jags players and members of the Roar.
It's really great to see the support that Jacksonville's put out for us.
Austin Lane, Will Rackley, and Cameron Bradfield spoke with the airmen, took pictures, and passed out goodie bags. It brightened their day just as much as the recipients.
These men and women sacrifice so much for our country and the time with their families, so just to come and show our appreciation is great.
While the troops were off defending our country, life continued on here at home. Babies were born, milestones were made, and for many of them, they're catching up to those things for the first time.
Congratulations.
Take Thomas Uzitzis. He can't wait to catch up on the little things.
Christmas, all the major holidays I was going for, all that stuff, Easter, everything. So, and then I got a lot of catching up to do.
Families and friends were also relieved. They hugged their heroes tight as they walked through the terminals for the first time in 6 months.
The load off my shoulder, even for them to be out of the air, off the airplanes. I'm always praying for them. I'm glad they're back.
As the troops adjust back to life here at home, they'll take this day with them. The Jaguars say they will too.
People look up to us, but really they should be looking up to these guys, fighting for our country.
Grab Grab your earplugs and head to NAS Jacks. For the next 2 days, jets and planes will be taking over the skies for daring dives and spectacular stunts.
I'm a big fan of airplanes and aviation. Being at an air station, this is just an exciting event.
Today, veteran pilots performed a practice air show for nearly 5,000 local students.
Probably the F4 Phantom was probably the coolest.
Though there's food, souvenirs, and a number of bomb tricks, the biggest showstoppers are the world-famous Blue Angels. They were born at NAS Jacks in 1946, so it always means a lot when they come back home to fly.
I'm ready to see them. I haven't seen them since last year, so we're ready.
There's also plenty of planes on display along the flight lines for civilians to come, observe, and get a true inside look at naval aviation. If aircrafts aren't your thing, you can journey over to this submarine simulator.
3, 2.
Kelsey Casey says with all the attractions, one thing's for sure, you'll have a world of a good time.
From years ago, you see newer planes, it's just, you get to see all the different things you don't get to see all the time.